Welcome back to Gridiron Grilling with the DIY Dad, and happy Thanksgiving. Today we are going to be smoking a Spatchcock Thanksgiving turkey, but first we got to earn that turkey. So I'm here at the Marietta Square for the Musk Ministries Gobble Jive. It's a 10K, and so for you non-metric system users, that's 6.2 miles. So we'll be back in about 32 minutes. All right, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It was a little bit longer than 32 minutes, more like 55, but we finished the race, so call it a win. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how we're gonna spatchcock this chicken. I have already brined it, and I'm not gonna show you that process. That was on the video I did last year, so if you're interested in that, check that out. But I'm gonna show you where we go once it's been brined. Okay, so we've got about a 16.5-pound turkey, and again, we brined this for 24 hours. I've taken it out of the brine, rinsed it off, and patted it dry as best I could. Now we're going to spatchcock it. You can see I've kind of identified where the backbone is, kind of made a little guiding slice. And now I'm just going to take some kitchen shears, and we're going to cut down one side. It's a little bit harder to do this on a turkey than it is on a chicken, but all right, that took some doing, but we got the backbone out, and now I'll set that aside, and I'm going to take a knife, and right here on this breastbone, top of the sternum here, we're going to hit that, and that'll, just like that, and that'll allow this to lay flat. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this breastbone and I'm going to trim around this, and just work with our hands and try and get this. Kind of work with your knife, just like that. All right, that took some work as well, but you can see I've got this keel bone out of the breast, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow this to lay nice and flat on the grill. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator for a few hours, let the skin kind of firm up, and we'll be back to show you the next step in a little bit. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to make an injection for our turkey, and to do that I have melted 4 sticks of unsalted butter, and you want to use unsalted butter because the turkey has already been brined, and so it's got a lot of salt already. So you don't want to use salted, make sure you use unsalted butter. Once our 4 sticks of butter have melted, I'm going to pour 12 ounces of beer, and today we're using a Founder's Porter. So we're going to pour that in there, and then we're going to bring this mixture to a slow boil. So we'll be back once we get this thing boiling. Okay, once we've got our injection sauce to a slow boil, we're going to add a tablespoon of sea salt. Bring that way down. A tablespoon of paprika. A tablespoon of garlic powder. Tablespoon of ground mustard, a tablespoon of black pepper, and a tablespoon of barbecue rub. And I am using Meat Church Honey Hog today. So what we're going to do is we're going to stir that all in there and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to take it off and let it cool. All right, Next thing we're going to do is I've got my injection mix here, and I'm going to take my injector and we're just going to inject all in the turkey, about every inch or so. And once we get it all injected, we'll be ready to put the barbecue rub on there. Alright, after we got our turkey injected, what we're going to do is flip it over to the underside, and we are going to take some Meat Church Holy Voodoo rub, and we're just going to give it a nice light coat. And we'll flip it over. And do the same thing on the top side. And make sure you get under the wings, under the drumsticks, and over the breast. And then we're going to let this sit and adhere for about 10 minutes while the grill warms up, and then we'll be ready to go. Alright, we've got our grill up to about 285 degrees. I've got some temperature probes in here. So we're going to put this in right on the rack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wings here. I'm just going to tuck them back. And we're going to cook this right on this pan. And after about an hour, I'm going to take it off and we'll use some of the drippings for our gravy. So we'll be back in an hour. Alright, so we've been going right at an hour here, and what I'm going to do now is I've got some of the leftover injection that we made, and I'm just going to drizzle that on this. I'm going to do this again at the 2-hour mark, just to keep this bird nice and wet, moist. So we'll come back and let this sit an hour, and then we'll come back. Alright. So we pulled this off the grill, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut the legs and thighs off. Perfect. Cut the wings off. Give it a little pull. Just get that joint right in there. Now we got the breast. We'll cut along the breastbone like that. And then we're going to cut it against the grain. And it looks fantastic. So we'll see you back when it's time to serve.
Alright, we have our turkey with some salad and some rolls, and now we're going to give it a taste test. That's good. Be sure to smash that like button. We'll see you next time.